Raleigh isn't here today.
Welcome everybody to our Saturday webinar. It is Saturday, the 24th of January, and I see a lot of new people here. So welcome to our webinar. And I'm going to let Jim take over for now because he has something to say.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome and glad to see you. I wanted to make a little bit of announcement. We have a friend in New Hampshire. Her name is Jeannie, and she's in the hospital right now, and they gave her only 2 to 4 weeks to live. However, I do not believe that that is true. I think she has a greater purpose in the world, and I think she's going to make it through. So right after this webinar, we're going to have a little prayer vigil for her. Anybody who wants to join, just stay online afterwards, and we'll say some prayers. It doesn't have to be official prayers or out loud or whatever. You don't have to go to your prayer book, but we'll have some silent time. We'll send her some love, energy, and healing power. And then after that, we can go our separate ways. But I'd like to do that right after the webinar to have a little prayer vigil for Jeannie. If anybody wants to join, that'd be wonderful.
I also want to remind people that Jim is having the channeling workshop on the 31st. So if you would like to sign up for that, please do. And
I got a payment already. I'll have to talk to you about that, Sabrina.
Okay.
And there's going to be people here in the house as well.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour webinar. You sign up. You send Jim the payment, and then just make sure you write on the payment for channeling webinar. The post is on the website, so it tells you there a little bit more information. But
the people here could put money here, so they don't have to send it all.
On the 31st. On the 31st.
At 3 o'clock, is that correct?
Yes, at 3 o'clock on the 31st.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time.
Correct. Yes, because it benefits you, and they'll benefit Jim, so everybody wins on that.
Last time we had a couple people break through and start channeling during the teaching, and it was really good. So it was a very cool thing.
Yes.
But I think there's a certain energy when we get together and try to channel together. I just let it flow together. Because it draws the attentions of the people that want to channel through you, for one thing, because they see you all together, and they have a chance to work with you. Because it's not only me teaching, it's them working with you as well, because they want more channelers, because there's a lot of information out there that only can come through certain people. And you might be the person that it needs to come through. It is something that is that it just is. They wanted me to be a channeler, so that's what I am. Because otherwise, I would have never gone that direction. I would have never thought to go to a channeling class. Didn't even know what channeling really was. I've heard about it because I was a Bible student. But I went to Bible college and things of that, and they said, never channel, never. It's a bad, bad thing. But you know what? God called me to channel, so it's not a bad, bad thing. It might be bad for some people who cannot control it. It might be bad for some people that want to abuse it, but it is essentially not a bad thing. So,
yes.
Just like everything else, it can be abused. So.
And beautifully said, Jim. Beautifully said. Yes.
So now, right now, I am going to ask if there's anybody that you want me to channel today, one at a time.
I would say we haven't talked to Shell in a while.
Yes, Shell's good. Anybody else?
Where's Shell from?
Shell is a Shakani.
The Elohim, maybe?
An Elohim? Yes. We haven't talked to an Elohim, I don't
No,
think.
we haven't talked to an Elohim.
Well, you have a Hebrew
they're very-
specialist, so...
What did you say?
Everything regarding the Judaism or Hebrew I can help, so you're in luck.
Okay, very good. I know you can speak Hebrew, yes.
Yeah. Jeannie was the one that taught me the Elohim.
Yes. Jeannie, yes, is the one that we're going to have the prayer vigil for. She taught Sabrina Elohim. So that was... Jeannie is a language and a species, but they're more angelic. The L in the front of their name is God. There's certain amount of... There's a group called L that is an alien group that covers finances. Elohim is a more spiritual group that covers more spirituality, but the L in front of the name shows that they're of God. So.
Yes. So, and of course, Takar or Lakesh are always welcome. So.
Of course.
But yeah, an Elohim would be nice.
Okay, well, we'll see. Shell, Elohim, who else has something to say?
Anybody else has a request?
It would be interesting if 𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗏 could finally come through like he's been saying he would.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that would be good too.
Yeah.
Yes, good idea, Ruth.
He'll come when he...
When he's, thank you, when he's ready.
For those who don't know who 𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗏 is, he's a very high priest. Oh, he's ready. He's a high-dimensional priest from the Andromedan area. He lives on the 7th planet, but he is a mentor to many kings and queens and politicians, but he's very, very, very high. Their civilization is very abstract. They have a lot of abstract thoughts, and they sent some to me, and we're just not ready for some of their thoughts yet. So, but he is said to be, Rob Gauthier is actually the one that pointed out that he was around me during many of the webinars, but has not spoken through me yet. So if you know who Rob Gauthier is,
yes,
channeler of Trev. He is the one that contacted me and said, I was watching your videos, and I saw 𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗏. And so we had a discussion about that. That was really quite amazing. So, here we go. Is there anybody else? Other than that, I think I'm just going to go.
Yes.
Well,
Yes. Yes.
Well, someone requested Old Riser, and
Old Riser.
And I request an Anubian or a canine entity.
A canine. You've requested that a few times, and none have come through yet. I wonder if they're getting our message. Let's make sure that the canine entities hear us. So, all right. I have never channeled a canine entity, and I've never channeled Elohim. And what was the other one you just said? Old Riser? Okay.
And 𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗏.
𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗏. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, Jim.
And we'll see who comes through. I have no idea who's ready.
Okay.
But send some good thoughts and positive energy, and it'll all work out well. Greetings. I am Shell from the Shakani people, or Shakani, however you want to pronounce it.
Welcome, Shell. Thank you for
Welcome.
coming.
I'm only here for a brief moment because I do want to say something to you. I just want to say thank you for all that you are doing to help with your own ascension. Remember that unconditional love is a term that's used freely, but is not always acted upon freely. Unconditional love is so difficult because if there are those around the world, especially now in your day and age in this third dimension, there's always been that element of darkness on your planet, and it's very strong in some places like the Middle East and in some areas of the world where it's there's a lot of famine and things of that nature. There's much darkness. But when you see that and you can unconditionally love even the people that are wrong, which you consider wrong, because there is really no wrong and right. There's only negative and positive. So when you see the negative, love the person anyway. Does that make sense to you? I know you get tired of hearing the mushy love. Love, love, love. Everybody talks about the love. But it is so important to keep the ascension alive and well and draw people in. Now, we can talk about the negative things as well. And it becomes very interesting because the dark gets darker and the light gets lighter. When we have the dualistic world that we're in, it offsets each other, the balance. Do you understand that? But eventually that does not have to happen. But in the way that things are moving now, the dark is getting darker, the light is getting lighter, and it's moving so that the light, see, watch my hands. The light will be on top over the darkness, and then you will have them as overcoming. Does that make sense to you? But right now it is sort of even. But as it moves, as the ascension rises, then you will overcome the darkness. So it is an interesting concept for you because there has always been negative and positive on your planet. Always in pretty much balance, you would say. Because look at your society. Look at the way things are happening in your world. Is it really very positive? Is it really very negative? There is negative and positive mixed all together in your society, and people look at things differently because of that. And so the negative and the positive will come to terms with one another. And that's what I wanted to tell you about today. Because I congratulate some of you, most of you, for continuing to connect in a very positive way. Now, there are some of you out there, I know who you are, you know who you are, that do not connect in a very positive way, but you know that you should. So that's all I say. Continue to connect in a very positive way, a loving surrounding, love each other no matter whether or not you believe they are of a good vibration. You need to connect with them anyway, because that will bring them in to a different connection. Do you understand that? Your friction that you give off affects others. It always has and always will. Always has and always will. And that is what I wanted to say to you today. You affect others. Your positivity will affect others. Anything that you say or do will affect others. It affects the atmosphere. And in fact, you can go into a room, and if you are in a negative mood, you can change the mood of the room if you are strong enough. But you could also change it for the positive. If you go into a negative room and you are a positive light, do not let it squelch you, but just send out your energy, and it will help improve the atmosphere of a room. It can do that. So that's how it works in the world. You send it out, and it connects with others. It has to. Your fourth dimensional energy is awake, and it connects. So if there's someone in the room causing much negative energy, then you can try and send it out. You don't have to say a word. Send out whatever positive energy you can to help them and to help those people that are affected by them. Oh, you may not see it right away, but it does happen. It will happen that you are affecting the change. Be part of the good change. Not walking into a room and making it negative, but walking into a room and raising the spirit of the room. It happens. It happens. It happens. So be aware of how strong you are as an individual, because goodness and light energy is so much stronger than negative energy. It may come across as being stronger because it hits you harder. It's a facade. It's that strong that hits you is only a facade. Because you get behind it, you can get to the source. Does that make sense to you? It tries to hit you hard to bring you down so that you do not affect it. But you can. You can affect it. And you will affect it. It's your question.
Yes, Shell, how do you, as we observe all the negative things that are happening in the world,
Yes.
what is the best way to observe it and keep your vibrations? Because at times it's difficult when you see certain things happening in the world.
Yes, because it affects. You were brought up to be affected by things, and that is good. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You are affected by negative energy. You are affected by positive energy. You see things. You call them wrong and right. I call them positive and negative. You understand what they are, but when you look at it, see that it can have a positive outcome. Pray for a positive outcome for anything that is negative. Now, you must love the people that are doing these negative things as well. Because if you do not, then you are spreading negativity. You will be negative toward them, and that spreads negativity. But if you love them, you do not have to love their actions. I'm sure some of you heard that before. Oh, I don't like their actions, but I love the person. But then they go ahead and treat the person like their negative action. They don't treat them as a person. They treat them as the negative that they perceive in them. That is not the way it's done. You have to find the positive in the person, even though they may be confused and they may have many, many dark shadow energies in them. You must bring out, with your prayers, with your understanding, with your thoughts, bring out as much goodness toward them as you can, because it affects the world. Now, there is so much negativity pointed at them right now that they have power beyond imagination. People are saying negative things about them. They are pointing fingers at them. They are making their negativity 5 times stronger because they're pointing negative. They're giving them more negative energy. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
The positive energy, it brings down the negative energy, and they will not be able to do the horrible things that they are doing because you are changing their energy. Does that make any sense to anyone?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
good.
It makes sense.
Change their energy, do not feed their energy. Change their energy,
Okay.
do not feed their energy. That's how I say it.
Can we ask
Okay.
questions?
Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I just want to say this is my first webinar, so thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. I guess my question was actually about our prison system. I've really
Yes.
felt drawn to working with our prison system, and I live in America where our country is very based on punitive action and punishing those who've committed crimes. So I'm kind of curious how you see the evolution of our prison system, especially when you compare it to places that are more progressive and enlightened, like Norway or some of the other Scandinavian countries. It just really bothers me, and I'm curious to learn your perspective.
Yes, it will all change, but learn this about your prison system. Whenever there's such negativity brought together, what happens? In your prison system, you have many of those that are so down that they do not see a light at the end of the tunnel. But then, what happens? Many light, positive things happen in prison. There are prayer groups. There become Christians there, or enlightened there, or writers there. There is positive things that come out of it. Let's feed those positive things that feed the positivity in those individuals so that they can come out, and when they look at the light, it actually means something to them. When they look at the world, it actually is better for them. But many times they are pushed into such a dark place in the prison system that they do not see any of that light. But then you cannot stay in that dark situation forever. Either you are going to kill yourself, or you're going to find something positive. And let's send positive energy to the prisons, because, once again, it changes people. Do not send them negative energy. That just gives them more negative. Send them positive energy. And I like what you said about the other systems, on your planet. Yes, some other systems are much better. They bring about change for the positive, and they bring about understanding of how to be a better person. That is not happening in the United States system. There is some places where there is some of that happening, but it is not in abundance. It is not in abundance. And there are places where the churches go into the prisons and things of that nature, but that's sometimes not a good thing, because they preach down to people. You have to preach up to them and love them. You can't say, "Oh, you're a bad person, but we love you anyway." Yes, you can, but they don't do it in the right way. They have to take the love and reach out with it instead of just giving them words. You understand what I'm saying? They give them a bunch of words, but they do not give them their love. They give them their words, but you have to give them your love, and that is what changes people. When they see love in somebody else that's being given to them, how do you feel? How does anybody feel when they see that they are being accepted? When they are being loved, this activates positivity. I know, I'm giving you a bunch of words, but I'm also giving you my love.
Thank you so much.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It is negative can't be fought with negative, and I just think it's really fascinating, because prisoners are seen as we dehumanize them in the United States so often, and people who commit murders or commit crimes of great heinousness, I guess you would say, they seem to lose their humanity in our system, and I think it's really important to extend compassion and understanding to them. Yeah.
They are still human. There is still part of them that is the flame that was born into them. That spirit that is surrounded by flesh can be so tiny at times. What you need to do is feed that flame of love and goodness and spirit, and not feed the rest of the negativity, but feed that flame that is their soul.
Perfect, thank you.
Shell, what about when it comes to negativity that's coming from a person that's sick? How do you best deal with that so that you're compassionate but you don't get wrapped up in the pain that they're feeling at that moment.
Excellent question. First, you protect yourself, and then you protect them. Because, okay, but you know what? Sometimes it's better to protect them first. And let me give you an example of that. When you're on one of your airplanes and the oxygen mask come down, you do not put yours on first, do you?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. But then you put it on. You put yours on so that you will survive, correct, and help others.
Yes.
So you protect yourself. Protect yourself first, and then you protect the others. Because if you have a child with you, you will have to put that on the child, just like the sick person. But second of all, you give them positive energy, you give them love, you tell them how much you, before they have a chance to
I think he was muted.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hello?
Okay, now we can hear you.
What happened?
Jesse muted you by mistake.
Oh.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I thought I just muted you for me because I needed to step away for a second. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Did you hear anything that I said?
No, we left off as you protect yourself and you protect then.
You protect yourself and then you protect who is with you. You can protect them first, but yourself is the most important because you are the one bringing the positive energy.
Protect yourself with white light.
Yes. Protect yourself in any way that you find is useful to you. Now, some people put a white light on, but they don't use it. Meaning that they in the morning they wake up and say, oh, put a white light on, but they don't even think about what they're doing. When you do a protection on yourself, you must understand that there is some thought that you must put into it. Some things that you must put into it, like thank you God for giving me protection. Thank you God for or whatever entity that you speak of that is higher than yourself that is protecting you. And some people have different ways of doing it, but it must not be a mindless thing. It must be something that you actually think about. This is protection for the day. There's many things you might run into. There's many people that may want to cause you harm. So you must understand that protection is important in the day. So put your protection on, protect those around you, and be the first to speak positively. If you go to the hospital and they are laying in bed and you come into the room, you should be the first to speak. You should say, hello, how are you? I love you. I hope you are feeling better today. Give them a bunch of positive energy right away. Right away. You see, on our world, positive energy is more abundant in some ways. And so we are able to affect that situation more abundantly. You see, pain and things of that nature, of negative things, do exist. However, we know how to bring them out of them much easier because of the dimensional aspects, and our technology is much higher as well. So, but dimensional aspects are important. But you must be the first to bring something positive to that room. When you walk into that room, energize that room with your positive energy, like I mentioned before. Put your positive energy into a room when you walk into it. It does make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, normally what I try and do is talk about something funny or that to sort of get what they have in their mind. But then they end up going back to everything that they have and all the symptoms and listing everything. And then sometimes if you don't allow them to speak about it, it's like you're ignoring the pain that they're feeling. Do you know what I mean?
It is your place to acknowledge that you understand that they have pain, and that if they want to talk about that pain a little bit, that is okay. Let me tell you why. Because you are protected. You are protected from that negativity. If you come into a room and you have put positivity into the room, they can say whatever they want. Your positivity is still bringing the room up. But, and it's going to diminish what they have to say. They're not going to want to speak about that as much. They may speak about it, but if the more positive you are, perhaps you will be able to reach them. Now, there are some, I know, that they talk about their health constantly. That is like their major subject on your planet. Oh, I have this, I have that, I have the other thing. I'm going there, and I'm a patient with so-and-so and so-and-so. And my son's a doctor, too, and he takes care of me. But there are many, many people who like to talk about the negative. But when you throw a positive energy into the room, it makes it much harder to talk about the negative. Believe it or not, it makes it harder to talk negative if someone else is very positive. But that rule doesn't always apply, but for many people it does.
Okay, thank you.
There are those that are dwelling in negativity that if they see a positive person, they just want to shut them down. You've run into those people too, correct?
Yes,
So,
it happens. They say, what is he happy about? Yeah.
You do not want to be around because they do not want positivity. They do not work well with it because it is just not who they are at that time. But those are the people that you want to run from in some way. So, but still fill the room with positivity. But it makes them crazy. So.
Okay, thank you. Ruth has a question.
Hello, Shell.
Hello.
I call myself Saphira when I'm not calling myself Ruth. It's my spiritual name. And I have two questions. One is, what kind of illnesses, both physical and mental, do you have in your dimension, if any? How do you heal them? And the other question is a little bit different. What do you do when you're not here with us? And are you involved in helping prevent Earth calamities like Girk Fitneer is? Do you work with them on that?
Let me answer the second one first, since it's the closest.
Okay.
I study Earth in my spare time, and I am interactive in other places other than just here with you. I have other people that I do channel with, and I do, but not on this level. But I do, in my world, do much study of how Earth is moving in their ascension, and if I see problems, I report them to Girk Fitneer. And I also am a spiritual leader on my planet. Bashar is a much greater figure than I. He's older and wiser and has much more information. But here I am to help you as much as I can. Now, the first question was what?
What kind of illnesses, both mental and spiritual?
Of course, on all planets there's microbes, viruses, and organisms, and things that affect even fourth and fifth and sixth dimensions. There can be different things that are dimensional illnesses. There is what you would call mental illnesses as well, but we can help them very easily in many ways. So with technology and with counseling that is very positive. And also, there are some forms of cancer Now, cancer in our dimension is not the same. It is more external than internal. So it affects the outside of the body, but it's still there is some internal, but not very much. It's mostly external. So things like that. I don't really want to dwell on illnesses and things of that nature, but yes, we do have some.
How do you heal them? In which mechanics do you have?
Yeah, technology. Also, we do RNA treatments, which when you are born, you get an RNA outlook and a DNA outlook. And then from that perspective, we can tell if there's something. If you go to the doctor, they do an RNA outlook and a DNA outlook. And if there's something changed within the RNA or DNA, it's usually it's because there's an illness or something of that nature. And so our RNA and DNA is affected by illness. So that's the first thing they do, is do a scan on that. And then if there's something in the RNA or DNA that should not be there, it is removed. Now, yes.
Excuse me. Can you do healing for us on Earth as well, if we ask you?
Well, we do not have that. Well, we do have the technology. We are not allowed to interact in that way according to the laws of our people at this point, because it can change how you move forward in your life. And that is something that we cannot affect. We cannot affect your life in a way that changes your learning. And sometimes disease is part of your contract.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shell.
You're welcome. I am not supposed to be here this long, but thank you for all your questions, and I hope I answered them effectively. But I must go, and someone else will come in my place. Is that permitted?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for
very
coming.
much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and I hope you got my message about positive energy, giving it away. I see that it is so important to affect the ascension, is that you have to stay positive, and a lot of people can bring you down easily. So don't let that happen. Bring out your positive energy and let them deal with your positive energy, not you deal with their negative energy.
Thank you for sharing with us, Shell.
You are welcome. Now we must go.
Be well.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I am Metlaramus. You would speak of me as a canine entity.
Hello, welcome.
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 Thank
Welcome.
you. Why do you want to speak to me?
Nitrous did.
Nitrous. Speak
Hello.
to me. Hello.
What did you say your name was?
Metlaramus. How it would be pronounced here.
What do you look like?
I do not know how to describe myself to you, but I'm a large being in your terms, muscular. I'm bipedal. Is that the word? Bipedal. We came from quadrupedal centuries ago. I have the head of, it looks like more like a wolf on your planet, I would think. Or a dog, some dogs. Dogs. Canine. Dark colors. Of course, there is all colors of canines. What else do you want to know? My features are... We do not have hair all over the body like your canines anymore. We have come past that. We still have hair on the head, on the whole head.
I have a soulmate who is a canine being. Are you from her planet?
What is her name?
Well, she says that her name is Delilah because her actual name I would not be able to pronounce it.
She is from a neighboring planet. We have a few. Yes. 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗓𝗧𝗧 is her name.
𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗧.
𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗧. I can't even pronounce it in your language. 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧. 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗪.
Oh, yes, thank you. So you said you're muscular. Do you mean like a werewolf?
Let me investigate that term. Ha! A fictional animal. No. Yes. But not quite the same. But yes, in some ways.
Well, I've been integrating energies with me, and I've been wondering asking questions to myself about if I am to be a conduit for the canine energies because I have much connections with that energy.
One moment. Let me connect with you. Open yourself, please. You have more than canine energy. There's much animal energy within you. Interesting. Continue.
What is your message to humanity?
You called me. I had no message for you. I wanted to see what you were about. We do not have people around your planet yet.
I have a question, if I could ask it.
Certainly.
Yeah, so, hello, nice to meet you, Metlaramus. I guess my question was, I'm fascinated by Egyptian culture, and Anubis is a big deity in ancient Egyptian religion. So I'm curious what role your race or canine races had with ancient Egypt. Yeah.
We were there, yes. You see us on their walls. Anubis.
So is that a good approximation of what you physically look like, or is it actually quite different?
It is similar. The head is smaller now.
Okay.
It is getting smaller, but not much yet. It is similar.
What role did you play in their culture?
We took care of the dead.
Okay.
Our beliefs at those times were that we could help them get to the new world in a different way than they had ever thought before. And we were successful because their ideas and thoughts about how to get to the oversoul were not as successful. Now, when a person is leaving their body, yes, it is true that they will go to the oversoul. We made the experience a little bit more attractive. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
We brought there a thoughts of spirituality into a greater realm by using pictures and ideas to move them into a more positive idea of what the next life would be. Because, of course, no one knew what it was until you get there. We have a greater understanding of that now. But our way was helpful to them because they felt comforted. Because before us, they did not believe in an afterlife. They felt that they just were non-existent. But we brought them pictures and understanding of what the next life would be like. We were not always correct, I am sure. But it gave them more comfort.
So, what's your culture like?
𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗧. Our culture. The word culture, yes. That is our societal makeup. Is somewhat communal. It is what it is, but what I have to explain is that humanity lives like we live in some ways, but we have more control of our society than you have on your. Our society is not so opinionated. Is that the right word? And controlling. We let live a little more easily. I'm not sure how to describe it. Do you understand me, or am I using bad words?
Yes, we understand you.
I am not familiar with your language as much as I should be to do a communication.
It's fine. You're coming across very well. We're understanding what you're expressing.
I am slightly uncomfortable.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you connect with all that is?
All that is. Next.
What's a main part of your spirituality?
Spirituality. Our gods are the same as yours, except we put different faces on them than you put on your gods, of course. But they do the same things, they work the same ways, and they give us the comfort that we need for moving through our lives, and knowledge and understanding. Does that make sense to you? I am a family person. I believe family is when you have children, and equivalent other partner. Is that the way to say it? I am a spiritual person, as well as my family. We go to places to give honor to our gods. We believe they are helpful and loving. I feel like I am not speaking well.
You're speaking very well.
Thank
You're
you.
doing a beautiful job.
Thank you.
We are simply listening. We hear you. We are quiet because we are listening to you.
Thank you.
I have a quick question, if that's okay. I was curious, what density are you in, and how old are you on your planet? What the lifespan is of your race?
We are actually third density like yourselves. But some of us move to fourth density. We can live in the fourth density as well, but I prefer third density.
And what is the lifespan of your race? On Earth, it's usually 80 to 100 is the maximum.
Our lifespan is not long. It is very similar to yours. 80 to 110.
Okay.
You said that 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗧 was on a neighboring planet. Are you able to give me the name of the planet?
The name of the planet. Ah. Yes. The name of the planet is Tor.
Tor.
Tor. I do not know the spelling, just the pronunciation for your world.
Do you have approximate location with respect to Earth?
I do not know where I am. I was called, and Delilah knows this information, but I do not.
Sir? Oh, I thought you were done. Sorry, Pegasus.
Oh, I have one more. Like 2 more questions. What is your role in your society?
I'm a guardian. I guard those that have the power to rule. And I also guard those who cannot guard themselves.
Oh, you still have the need for guardians on your planet?
Yes.
Oh, and are there any humans on your world? Would an Earth human be able to come and visit your world?
Yes, but there are none there now that I know of.
I'd like to volunteer.
I was caught off guard by your question. But you may visit. I have no problem. Prepare to be smelled.
Oh, that's fine. Delilah smells me all the time. But yeah, you just brought up a new question for me. Smelling. You smell others?
Yes.
She is saying that that is a form of getting to know people.
Yes. Smelling you lets me know your fears and your understandings of social graces. Because your reaction to my smelling you will let me know how you feel about my community and my family.
Oh, well, I wouldn't mind that at all.
It also tells me many other things. What part of the world you come from, your location from birth, and where you live now, because they all have distinctive smells.
Are you able to smell me now?
No.
Okay, I have no more questions. Thank you.
I will go then.
Oh, wait,
There is one more question, if you can.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Shir. Can you
Name
hear
is-
me?
What is your name?
Shir.
Yes, I hear you.
You said that you prefer to live on the third density. Can you explain why not going to the fourth?
Third density brings me much more senses. Sensory adaptions. Fourth dimension is wonderful. Do not misunderstand. I prefer the more primitive dimension because I'm more adapted to it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Love and light.
Love. What is love? Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyrans. Love and I thank you for answering our questions and coming.
Many touches and smells to you.
Oh, wait, can I ask one more
Same
before
to
you go?
you.
Yes.
Well, where would you smell us?
I smell everywhere. I do not find one location to smell because there are many locations. Once I get to know you better, I will smell you more often.
Okay, one more. How tall are you? Are your people?
I am 6'4" in your dimension. We do understand numbers very well. Did I answer that correctly?
Yes, you answered it fine. Thank you, and I would like to see you sometime, and I have nothing else to say.
Thank you
Great.
for visiting us. We appreciate it. And for you to come in and answer Pegasus' questions.
Many touches and smells to you.
Many touches and smell to you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
I must go.
Shalom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Oh, what was that guy's deal? Wow. He was pretty strange.
Riser.
Hello, Riser.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
I fit in this body better now that I had a tail reduction.
Can you tell us more about that tail reduction? I've been wondering about that.
Well, we're reptilians. Certain species of reptilians can have their tails removed. Some of them are born without a huge tail. Some of them have a big, huge tail. It's just part of, your genetics. So yeah, I had to have some of it removed to be able to get in here properly. But I get a lot of ribbing around my planet for that, so it's all right. It'll grow back.
What tail does your function have for your body or your radar or?
It doesn't really have much function anymore. It used to have a function, but it doesn't have much of a function right now. I mean, it's just sort of decorative. If you want to, I mean, a big tail is it's popular. So, but they used to be sensory. They used to be used for sensing things and for defense and things like that. But right now, I mean, not much use really. So that's why I said, hey, what the heck? Get it reduced. A tail reduction. Just so I can do this.
I've never spoken to you before. I just want to say I've watched a lot of the webinars, and you're by far one of the celebrities. So thank you so much for coming through. I asked you.
Yeah, I'm a Brad Pitt. Yeah, for sure.
Much prettier.
Yeah, I studied all that stuff. Yeah, I see who he is. Everybody loves Brad Pitt. They love me just like Brad Pitt. So.
Well, I guess I wanted to ask you. We were talking about negativity early and negativity in humans especially, and I was curious about the use of code words or programming emotions and concepts into a word or into an image that you could call upon when you were in times of stress or times of conflict. So I was curious if you could talk about how to create these kinds of words or images, and if you know what I'm talking about, and if you use that in your race.
Well, we do. We have used it. They've become obsolete in some way. But I can tell you what, I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
There was a time during our wartime when you would call upon the inner strength, and they would have a word that would be attached to bring that out. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm kind of talking about like when you're about to enter a negative situation, maybe programming a word or using meditation in a way.
Exactly. When we were about to enter a battle, we brought a code word to bring out our strength and our endurance and our highest understanding and intellectual thought for that period. So there was a slight time of meditation before battle. Yes.
How can we humans work on doing that, or do you have any?
It has to be individualized, though. You have to understand. We didn't all use the same word. We didn't all just go Ramba Bamba and there it is. But I had a special word that I use, which is private, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because you could say it and it would make me react in certain ways. But I have myself programmed for this particular word so that I could be my best in battle. Now, you can do that to yourself. Wow. Pardon me?
Oh, how can we as humans do that?
It's easy. You just do a meditation. You do a intention meditation for that sort of thing, and you do it many times. The more you do it, the stronger you can be. But then you can call on that word because your spirit guides will give you the word.
Okay.
It is
It's
not a
Anko.
word that you will be familiar to you right away, but it will become familiar to you. Does that make sense to you? Ah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, your spirit guides will give you a word that nobody else will know. See, if people know you real well, they could probably guess your word, or at least assume that they can get close to it. But with the spirit guides giving you the word, nah, they won't even get even that. Take it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Riser. This is
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question for Adriana. She said I wanted to know who was the reptilian being I saw at the park. He approached me and said something in a strange language.
Yeah.
So she wants to know what that was about.
All right. What was her name?
Adriana. She's here, but I guess she doesn't have a mic.
Ah, Adriana. Yeah, that was one of our people. Yeah. What did he want? I'm not sure. But I could ask him. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, he knows that you know about reptilians, so he wanted to know what you thought about him. He was sort of like he didn't know that you couldn't understand him. Since you know about reptilians, he thought if he spoke reptilian, you would understand it. But next time he'll talk to you in English, all right? He asked you some questions, that's all. Like, what are you doing here? Why are you in the park? You know, but you didn't understand what he was talking about. He was just making small talk, basically.
Okay, sure, you're next.
Hello, Riser. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can I ask you about reptilians in Israel?
What?
If there's any reptilians in Israel in the politician?
Oh yeah, well they try, yeah.
They tried, they didn't succeed?
There's a lot of reptilians in Israel and in the Middle East. But
if I'll give you some names.
Some of those guys, yeah. They've gotten to some of those guys, but not to everybody. But they've gotten to more of the Russians than they have to the Middle Easterns because they're hard heads down there. They really have an agenda and they stick to it. But they've made some headway into that because they pretend like they're part of their agenda, so they listen to them. Yeah.
If I'll give you some politics names in Israel, can you tell me if they're involved?
All right. I may be able to tell you.
Okay. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
The Prime Minister.
One moment. He has a reptilian working very close to him. However, they don't see eye to eye on everything. Some things, yes, but not everything. They argue a lot in a very, very, very high class way. So but they do argue.
Can you tell me what his name is?
Who? The reptilian?
If it's okay.
No, I'm not allowed to do that. No.
Okay.
He's close. He's one of his advisors.
Ah.
And
okay.
Somebody works for him very closely. Yep.
Okay. Can I give you some more names?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Yair Lapid.
What?
Yair Lapid.
Yahyel Lapid. I don't know who that is.
Okay, your luck then. Lieberman.
Ah, Lieberman, I know who that is. Yeah.
Ah!
Ah!
So he is involved with reptilians?
Not directly, but he's met with them before. Yeah. He doesn't really like reptilians very much, but he does listen to them sometimes.
Okay. Bougie.
Yeah, Bougie. Yeah, he's definitely attached to some reptilians. Yeah. Yeah.
Bougie is attached with reptilians?
Yep, a little bit.
Holy sh... He's a good guy or
Yes, but he's one of those guys that keeps your enemy close, and then you'll know what they're up to. So yeah, he doesn't agree with him or anything, but he definitely has a lot of reptilian access. Let's put it that way. So, but he does not listen to their advice, but he definitely listens to what they have to say.
but his intentions are good or bad?
Oh, his intentions are very good. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Bennett.
Bennett, I don't know.
He wearing a kippah. He's a Jewish fella. He has many influence. He's trying to become prime minister.
I don't know. I really don't know, because if he has any reptilian contacts, I don't know who they are.
Okay. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And much love.
Surprise! Everybody has reptilian contacts in the governments there, but they don't always listen to them. That's the story. But some of them don't even know that they're reptilians because they refuse to believe it. I mean, they've been told that they're reptilians. They just don't believe it. Yeah.
Benjamin Netanyahu and all of those knows about them?
They know that they've been told.
Yes?
Yeah, but they don't believe it. Some of them don't. But your one guy does. The one that's the real good guy, he's aware of it. Yeah.
Bougie aware of them?
Yeah, he's aware of them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, this is Sabrina.
Yeah?
I have a question for you. Since you have dealt with the U.S. government,
yeah,
you were in the military. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you can help us with this. About there seems to be a challenge about transporting people to the ships.
Yeah.
Because of some deal that was made. What advice would you give about that?
Well, you see, the problem is that whenever they made the contract, it wasn't specific enough, and so they did say that they were allowed to help the Earth with the weather and the seismic and volcanic, and that they were allowed to talk to people through channeling situations and stuff like that, but they were not allowed to interact with humans in a third-dimensional way. Okay. It's stated that third-dimensional way, okay? And so they want to take humans off the Earth and bring them to the colonies, and that's taking out of third dimension into a different area. So that's a breach of contract according to the politicians. But according to the Girk Fitneer, they're saying, well, we're not interacting with them on Earth. We're not even coming to Earth. We're bringing them to the ship. However, and we're interacting with them there. So they said, no. If you take them in their third dimensional off the Earth, that's affecting their, that's interacting with their dimension. But so they have a big argument there. They have a big argument there because they were not specific. Well, it says third dimension. It does not say anything about teleporting or anything like that. That they would have. So they're working on making an addendum or presenting your politicians with a way to get around it, but they haven't got around it yet because they're saying if you take our people off the earth, that's a deal breaker.
Okay, now where does our free will come in on this?
Oh, it doesn't, dear. No. Your government is not free will. No. Your free will is to say, yes, I'll go if they let me. But your government is saying you're not going. So that's not your free will. That's their free will.
Exactly, and that's where some of us, are a bit, I guess, annoyed over this because it should be our decision to make. I understand if they were protecting us, but if we are making the decision to go.
Yeah, well, it's just like a law. You don't break, if you break the law, that was your free will to break it, but it's their free will to throw you in the pen or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, when it comes to this, your government is in control. You have no say at this point.
Okay, now taking us off planet, it's not on 3D. So I don't understand how they could even argue that.
Yes. Well, they're saying you're in 3D when the beam comes down. If you're allowed to go astrally because your body is still on the earth. If they take your physical body off the earth, that's messing with third dimension, and it's a breach of their contract. Do you understand?
Yes. Now, how does that work when there's other civilizations doing it?
They don't have a contract with them.
Right.
So, yeah, they were sort of stupid to make a contract almost. But the reason why they did is so they could help, because they would not let them help because part of the contract is don't take over our area. Don't take over our government. Don't take over this. That's why they let them help, is because they said they wouldn't take over anything. Right? That was what the contract is basically about. There's a lot of other little stuff in there, but it's basically don't take us over. Don't be the ruler. Let us stay in charge.
When does the contract end?
That I don't know. I wasn't there. But I know that it's still enforced right now.
No.
But they're trying to make addendums to it.
Okay. Now, what do you know when this contract was made?
About 7 years ago, maybe 6. But it wasn't really, they really didn't start helping too much until, the contract was made, but it wasn't pounded out till about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Because the weather started to get really bad. It's still pretty bad now. I mean, it's not going to get better, let's put it that way.
Yeah, because my question is how, because we're sort of going in a circle because obviously they don't want to lose control.
Sure.
And this is about empowering us. So do you see the conundrum here?
Of course, but it's your government that made the whole mess, really.
Yeah.
If they just would have let them help without doing all this crap.
Exactly.
Just help us, but your government is too suspicious and too paranoid to do anything without writing. And they're still paranoid about that, even though there's a treaty and all that stuff. They know that it can be broken, but the fact that they put it in place was a trust factor, okay? So, because it's better to have one than not, according to your government. Do you understand that?
Okay, now, why did they have to ask the government?
Because the government would shoot those freaking UFOs out of the sky as soon as they detected them. So that's why.
So they have the capability to do that?
Well, yeah, they do in some ways, yeah. But the thing is, who wants to be shot at all the time? You know,
Yeah,
you're gonna.
no, I agree.
So it's like, don't shoot at. That's part of the contract that the ships can be there, and
Okay.
They know the ships are there. They're in fourth dimension, but they can. You see, your government can shoot down a fourth dimensional ship.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Because that was the other question.
Yeah.
How does a third dimensional weapon shoot a fourth dimensional ship?
Other aliens that give them the information to do it because they don't want Girk Fitneer to help you, so they'll give them the technology to shoot out a fourth dimensional ship. Sure, that helps them.
Okay, and that would be, I guess, the ones not wanting us
There's
ascending.
Don't know about what's going on with all these freaking aliens. It's a mess on your planet. Wow. I mean, they're everywhere, and nobody knows who to trust or whatever. And it's just ridiculous. But it's still working so far. But my personal thought, it's going to break down one of these days because it's just too much.
Okay, let me ask you. Do you know Bashar? Do you know who he is?
Oh yeah, Bashar. Yeah.
Okay, he recently made some predictions.
What?
About the Earth. Something happening this year, towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I think it'll be more 2016, but yeah, he could be right.
Okay, that. Okay, and what about I don't know. There are numerous predictions that he made. Do you know anything about that?
I really don't pay much attention to all these other channelers. They always contradict each other, and I find them to be. So anyway, but you know what? To make a prediction like some of the ones that he made, he has to have visited another timeline. And according to galactic law and stuff like that, that it's interesting that he's allowed to.
Right, because he's never done that before. So
no, he's never made predictions before. So that means he had to visit another timeline. So whatever, I just hope he visited the right timeline to give the right predictions.
Right, and that was my next question, because how does he know that we're going to shift to that timeline?
That is a very good question, and my question as well. Because if he's shifted to the wrong timeline and he made these predictions, then they're not going to happen. But let me tell you something about Bashar. He's pretty bright. He's a bright guy. He's very, very in tune. So I have a feeling that they allowed him to do a little bit extra. So.
Okay, because then we have, on top of that, we have the L predictions.
Yes, the L predictions are also, you have to look at another timeline. Yep.
Because
but in the meantime, there's a lot of variables.
Right.
You know what I mean? Things that they may not have foreseen with all these freaking aliens coming down, they might interfere some way that'll change everything. So, you don't know.
Yeah, because it also seems that there's a lot of aliens coming in to watch the show.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a crapshoot.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Angela had a question.
Yeah. Hit it, girl.
You need to unmute yourself.
All right, hold on.
Ah, there you are.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to know if you knew anything about the crystal skulls that are around now.
Yeah, they're gonna get together. They're all right. The crystal skulls have a lot of different representations. So they have energy together. When you bring them together, they're gonna have a great amount of energy. There's 13 of them, I understand. 12 of them and one in the center. And the central one is the controller. And the 12 are for the stargates. You have 12 stargates around your planet, and they're the actual controllers of the stargates. And the middle one is the controller of all the controllers. So you're going to find that it's a very interesting time when those come together, because the stargates will appear. All right.
I see. Is the leader in Russia still controlled by a reptilian?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, that's all the questions I have.
Okay. Yeah, he's still controlled. They're trying to give him a little bit more of emotional lately, because it's been noticed that he's been like a blank sheet of paper. You see him and he's like nothing there. So they're trying to give him a little more emotion so people don't, start really believing that he's a reptilian. So he's just controlled by him. He's not really a reptilian, but boy, he's starting to have a little more emotion. It's not working for him though. He's not one that works with emotion well.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
You said there were 12 in a circle with one in the center.
Yeah.
I've been getting a different configuration over the past couple of years.
What is it?
More of a stellated dodecahedron.
Oh, okay.
Like a star.
Well, yes, you can put it like
star?
that. Yes, it's not a circle really. But I'm just saying there's one in the center.
Right.
But the format of the skulls is however it's supposed to be, and that could be a dodecahedron because those are popular in space. So I'm not quite sure because I'm not really privy to all the crystal skull information. But I do know they are all there. They're all existing at this time. I think they're all found actually at this point. So beware, they'll be coming together one of these days. And then the stargates will appear. Is that what you got, stargates? So,
yes.
All right. Very good. The configuration is on some kind of alien parchment somewhere, and I know somebody has it, but I don't know. Hi.
Have you and I ever met before?
Oh, we met a couple times, yeah.
What was it like?
You were curious about who I was and all that stuff, and because you're actually a very inquisitive guy about all different kinds of species. So you're like keep a mental record of different species that you met. So yeah, we had a small conversation, and I was it was right after you came back from the colonies once. Because I had a question for you about the colonies. I was going to ask you about your sexual exploits in the colonies. So, but we did not. We didn't really. I didn't really get much from you on that. So we'll see.
What did I say?
You did say that was sort of none of my business. But you were saying there is some, but it's none of your business.
Well, yeah, because I never remember going to the colonies.
I know. You remember talking to me?
No.
Ah, bummer.
Not too long ago, the United States Air Force released their UFO files. How will this affect us?
Yeah, those things. The file that they released has been doctored. So don't take too much. Don't put too much into that. I mean, some of the files are okay because they don't say anything. But some of the ones that have real accounts, they did not release. Some of the real juicy stuff is still top secret. They released hundreds of thousands of pages of stuff that's benign. So, in many senses. Did you look at it yet?
I looked at it, but I quickly just left because I knew that there would be nothing interesting.
There's nothing interesting. Yawn! That's what it is.
So
Also,
can,
you said
It's
that
a big yawn. 100,000 yawns. That's all it is.
also,
So,
you, yeah, I believe sometime in the past you said that you weren't really interested in Earth movies.
not really.
Well, there's one coming out next.
I think Godzilla's a hoot, but they made it over and over again. I like every version of Godzilla. I think that's one of my favorites, but I don't watch very many other ones. That Godzilla one is funny though. That is a hoot.
Well, there's an interesting movie coming out next month called Jupiter's Ascending, and that one has reptilians in it.
Ah, very good. I'll have to look into that one.
I think you'll love it.
Oh, have you seen it?
It's not out yet. I've only seen the trailer.
Ah, trailer. Oh, okay, yeah, trailer. Okay.
Hey, Riser. I just had a really quick question. I was curious what you could tell me about. There's a Pleiadian race, and they're actually blue skin, and they're the tall blue skinned ones. And it's usually they seem to wear a shawl, like a kind of cloak, and usually the women or the men have like a bindi, like a dot in their forehead, and they usually have very crystal-like eyes. I was curious what you could tell me about the race, the names, and all that stuff.
Wow, they're Pleiadians. They're the tall Pleiadians, but they're not in contact with the Earth right now. They were for a while. They moved out. They're regrouping to do some explorations of different places as well as Earth, and they will be back. But what did you want to know, really? They're just in the Pleiadian system. They are blue-skinned. They do have crystal kind of eyes. Their eyes are very shiny. I don't know if you call them crystal, but you're shiny anyway. But and they're a nomadic sort of tribe, sort of thing. They do have a home planet, and it's in the Pleiades, but they do sort of roam around. All of them, now that they have space availability to get into space, they like to roam around. However, a couple of their ships have been exploded by gas pockets in space, so they have to be. They went back to regroup because they lost the ship recently.
What's their race name? And is it a feminine race? Like, are there males in that race? Because
There's male
picture.
Well, yeah, there are males and females, but they're moving into a Unitarian kind of species where, but that's like, I could go on talk about. They're sort of boring. So, yeah, they're sort of boring. So you really don't want to know that much about. They're coming back. Yeah.
Old Riser, hi, this is Saphira. There is one more question, but if you or Jim are too tired, then we can end it here. Would you have energy for one more question?
There's only one more question, so go for it.
Okay, this is from Shron. Go ahead, Shron.
What?
Thank you, Saphira. Hello, Riser. Thank you for being here. You're really hilarious this morning. I wanted to ask.
I didn't get it. Awesome. Thank you.
I wanted to ask if you could tell us about your favorite memory up to date, so far.
My favorite human memory or reptilian memory?
Either one, whichever one you prefer.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of favorites actually, but I won an award. I won an award. What? Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. I won an award for my military strategy about, I don't know, 42 years ago or something. But that was one of the highlights of my life, is that they recognized me for my strategic abilities, and that was sort of an earthly remembrance, because I was very, very good on Earth. I was very strong, I had a great brain and stuff, so, yeah.
Do you remember who you were?
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you who that was.
Okay.
Because I became somebody of sort of notoriety. So.
Right.
So I couldn't really tell you that. But you'll figure it out someday. Yeah, you'll figure it out. I rose through the ranks. Yeah. All right. Well, if that's it, I'm going to go.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you,
for coming.
Old Riser.
Please remember, tell Bougie my message.
Much love.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
And I gotta go. I'm bringing back the gym guy. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Bye, Raja.
Thank you. Bye.
Whatever. No, you can't come in. Okie doke.
Hi,
Hey,
Jim.
hello, everybody.
Hey, Jim.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling?
I feel
Really
good.
good.
Good. I want some coffee. How was it? Was it okay?
It was very good. It was very good.
Awesome.
It was great. Thank you so much.
Shell came and gave us something to think about, or lots of think about. And then we had a canine come. He mostly spoke with nitrous.
Oh, yes. His feeling was he was very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah. He
He was curious.
Yeah.
He was trying to get used to the human body and was very interested in
Oh, really?
digits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and wasn't sure if he was expressing himself correctly, using the right
Oh, yeah.
words. But he did
Was-
fine. He did fine.
Gratitude.
Yeah. What was his name?
His name was
His name was Metlaramus.
Metlaramus.
Metlaramus?
Metlaramus.
Metlaramus. Okay. Wow, what name? Right, Metlaramus. It sounds Greek. So anyway, a Greek dog.
Yes.
And then I think Sher and Jesse asked him if he is connected to the Anubis in Egypt, and he said they were, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what their role was in that. So that's pretty cool.
And it was kind of cool because he exists in the third dimension, and I think he's one of the only ETs that I've seen channeled that exists in the third dimension, and his lifespan is pretty similar to humans. So,
which I find interesting that they were in Egypt, but their lifespan is short.
Yeah.
So he must have learned that part.
I don't know.
Or unless they are able to go back and forth full time and that kind of thing, to look into it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very strange that their lifespan isn't that much longer than ours, or whatever.
Well, maybe because he is in the third dimension rather than the fourth.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good thought.
Yeah, because he prefers the third.
Okay.
Which begs the question: can he go into fourth?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how, I mean, Lakesh talks about third and fourth dimension, how he can do assignments or live in third dimension for a week, but I had never mentioned to the other people in the room, actually. It's kind of cool because I know Saphira channels a blue, but one of my guides is one of the blue races, and her name's Georgiana, and I know there was 4 of them here, so it's really cool to meet other people in the group. That's how I initially met Jim in the first place.
The 4 blues from Lakesh's world. Shusha, which is Georgiana, Yushura, Lakesh, and Khalid.
And then there's a Rusha.
I said Rusha.
Oh, you did? Okay. I thought you said Larusha.
Georgiana, Rusha, Kalish, and Lakesh.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of contact from those planets. That's pretty cool.
Well, yep, their time of study, self-study, self-analysis, or whatever you want to call it, is over. So they can do more things now. So, but anyway.
Yeah, let's do the healing.
Okay, is everybody up for doing a little bit of sending Jeannie some healing?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Send Jeannie some love and healing and all that stuff, because we know that she is like a vital part of our society here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm up.
Every single one. She watches all the webinars, but she doesn't come to them. So she's in the hospital right now. So let's send her. Actually, she's in Massachusetts in the hospital. She's from New Hampshire, but it's close to Massachusetts. So she went to a hospital in Massachusetts. So, Serena, you want to do a prayer for her? An Arcturian one?
I will.
That'll be our blessing for today. We'll do it for Jeannie.
Okay, we'll do it for Jeannie. Hold on. tananasu. Io saria tariona nasu. Tu narioko tanana. Ario sanio tu liasanana. Ario nanasku tialalaka. Tu niosukuaria kotuana nanasuaria. O la la nanaku. Osu nario sario tario sakata. O nio sari ti yosu. O niakataki okotu. Osu ananakatu osulu. Tio sana, kio tana, tio sorua, tio rua, tananaku, o tana, anasokua, tia sorua tana, io sono akata, ali o sani okotu, o sani ario anani, kiaka nana, tusi akatu, kio tananasu, o de ananasu kuti, io sarani o sati okotu, tia tananasku, o siatana, alio sarayona suku, o sanoku, oria, tono siariaka, tunia sakuriatu, o kuatana, kia satunoku, onuasaka, tu sananoku aki, yosonoaki, yonanoso, tu nasiokotu ali, yonanaskutu, o lanatuaka, Tio sana kuareti, o nio sorua, tanio sokuati, asano koto, tu na kiotoko, o siotono, oriana suruana, tona suriataka, yo no suku, no. Tu sia toronosu, onaku tia suku, olasata, anio tuoso, yosokua, taniosokua, tia aria noa, hianasu, otua, aniosorua, titu aliki, kyoto nanasu, o nariaki, anatu, akata, anoasaki, iyasu ataka.
Peace be with you, dear one, and energy from the universe. May all those come to you. We just want to bestow believe that you can be healed. Understand that your personage is important to the world. Do not let the negativity overcome you, and let the wellness move through your body. Now we can see you and understand that you are someone of notoriety within the human race. Someone of great love and understanding, and knows the power of how to use the tools in front of you. We give you great praise, for you give everyone great praise. It comes back upon you 100-fold. And now we wish for you the wellness of the universe. Blessings, dear one. Blessings, dear one. We understand it. We understand it. We bring you peace and healing and thoughts of great joy. Continue to move in a positive way. There's a lot more, but it's very personal, so I'm just going to let that go and finish off with what they said about healing, blessings, and understanding. They're reaching down and giving you a touch right now. Much love to you. And then there's some personal things they were bringing to you as well. And they had a little hymn that they sang at the end there, so that was beautiful too. Anybody else have anything?
I can do one in Hebrew.
Sure.
ג'יני, כולנו פה מאחלים לך הרבה בריאות, הרבה אושר. מי ייתן והדבר הזה ירד והדבר הזה יעבור, ומי ייתן ואת תעלי ותצליחי. ואנחנו מאחלים לך פה הרבה מאוד אהבה, הרבה מאוד כוח, ומחכים שתחזרי לוובינארס. ואנחנו עכשיו שולחים את האהבה שלנו, ואנחנו שולחים את הכוונות הטובות שלנו, ואנחנו נגיע אלייך. הרבה אהבה ותקווה. בדגש על תקווה. שלום.
Shalom.
Shalom. Anybody else would like to say a few words?
The Elohim are with her as well.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, they have many influence nowadays. They actually have a guide next to my brother.
Very good. Elohim.
Ruth, would you like to say something? You're muted.
Yes, I would like to lead a healing meditation, but I can do that after we're offline as well.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else would like to say something?
I'll be talking to you soon, Jeannie.
Yes. Akaru oto nanos kuru akatia liosoto. Ono kotuskuru otu tanioko. Orana suru ananaskuru akati. Eyi osona huata nanasku. Oruana nasuru ata. Aliasanaku. Ono sariata naskutua. Eyi osotu ono oruana nasa. Tono suruata kiatu. Ona suataka. Aliasoro ondo waratani oso. Olokuatana aria anuaskua. Tuasanakatu. Olani asuakatu. I'm getting many visitors now. They all want to say something.
Very nice.
Hashua koho tiono uruo hutu ashi akiatuho. Ani o hutu ashi. Askarioto hatia. Eniosu oruotu. Hana shuaka. Tuani o soaha. Toskoto tonoho. Ya. Ionoha. Tua. Atuokskuru ata. Eia toho. Ono osuru. Okuotu. Osuno. Arionoha. Tasha. Tatua. Antukuokuaha.
Rise up and be healed. Accept the healing that is yours. There is strength and power in the light and in the spirit. And you are privy to it. Just accept it. Rise up. Stand up. Let it be whole. Let yourself be whole. Let everyone know that this is a miracle. Let everyone know that you are here to share your miracle with the world.
Tatanana kutuku. Uloka tatanana kurua katanana liala lua. Aliolono skurua karia totonoska. Tariata nanaskurua karia sorua tadariu. Orani aria. Kurua tariana nanisku. Ora ani aria ku. Turuana naria. Taria runa. Ariana nurua tia. Aria. Oruanda aria. Tioro. Uruanda aria. Akori okuria nanaria karia. Okorono ku aria. Akaria nanonosku. Oriana naria. Kurua tari. Kurua nani. Ariosorua, Akiariano, Uruata Kiaria, Aria Skurua, Aria Sokura, Tani Orosku, Uruananasiaka, Ato Sokuruananaskara.
Healing is for all of you. Healing is for all of you, and accept it. There are some out there that are not accepting their healings because they are not feeling it, but healing is for all of you. Healing is stand up. Healing is stand up for it. For it to be standing up for you. For your health is inside, and it is something that is part of you. And you all must have it. It is for everyone. Healing is for all of you.
Shamanaha Kudahalaha Kinaha Milahohu Shuna Kilataha Shamaha Kila Shushushutku Kolahala Hashina Himahala Hana.
You will remember this moment because it is a moment of power and joy and understanding and of great uplifting. We were uplifting you right now, and it will be a moment that you will remember for always.
Ushukanaha Shila Hahama Timahala Kala Shina.
Do not doubt. Receive, accept, and understand that you are healed. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jim. I want to say, get well, Ginny. We're all pulling for you.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
We are here.
Amen.
So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Have a great day, and we'll go offline now. And
yes.
If you want to stick around for a couple minutes to just offer silent prayer or whatever for Jeannie, that would be nice, and then we can go on our way.
Okay.
We already did our vigil for her already, so we don't really. If some of you need to go, that's fine.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. As always, donations are always welcome. If you benefit in any way from this webinar, please do donate towards Jim and Max. Hi, Max. I hope you're watching these webinars every once in a while. And
yeah, I talk all day. Yep.
Okay.
I would like to say goodbye to. Oh, sorry. I want to say bye to Fred C. To Will, and to thank you for being there and supporting Jim.
Bye.
And hope it was good for you as well being there. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, Sabrina.